Jai Hind children. Today we can study about another new chapter, chapter 6, tissues. In the last chapter, that is the fundamental unit of life, we studied about unicellular organisms. They perform all their activities of life with the help of same cell. That is, there is no division of labor. But in multicellular organisms, there is division of labor. The different cells of the organism perform various functions. They work together to perform various functions, and this is called differentiation. In multicellular organism, these differentiated cells together to form groups, various groups. And these groups of cells, they are similar in their structure and origin, and they work together to perform a particular type of function formed as a tissue. Thus, we can define the tissue as group of cells which are similar in structure and function and work together to perform a particular type of function. Plant and animal tissues are not similar and they perform different functions, and structurally also they are different. Then what are the differences between plant tissue and animal tissue? Plants, you know that they are stationary or fixed. So their tissues are also stationary or fixed. But animals, they are move in search of food, mate and for shelter. In their body, some tissues such as blood and lymphatic tissues, they can move from one place of the body to another. In plant tissue, most of the tissues are dead cells. Most of the tissue consists of dead cells and few of them are living cells. But in case of animal, most of the cells are living. And plant tissue that provide rigidity and structural strength. But animal tissues are flexible and they are movable, and some tissues like bone and cartilage that only provide structural strength and rigidity. Then plant tissues are, there is a differentiation such as dividing and non-dividing regions. That means they divide throughout their life, that plant tissues can divide throughout their life. But animal tissues, there is limited division, that is limited growth is there, and there is no differentiation such as dividing and non-dividing region. And the plant tissues are very simple, structurally they are very simple and less organized. But animal tissues are very complex in their structural organization and they are very more organized. Plants and animals have different types of feeding methods and their locomotion, and also they are responding to the environmental stimuli, that's also different. Then examples for some plant tissues, xylem and phloem tissues. Examples for animal tissues are blood, muscular tissues, nervous tissues, etc. First of all, we can study about plant tissues. Which are the different types of plant tissues, what is their structure and function. So the plant tissues are based on their dividing capacity. Plant tissues are classified into meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. Besides these, there are some tissues are also present in plants and they are called protective tissues. And first one is meristematic tissues. You know that the growth in plants are not uniform. There are certain regions are called dividing regions and non-dividing regions. That means certain tissues have the power of division and certain tissues they do not this power at all. And those tissues which has the power of division are called as meristematic tissues, and that cells are called meristematic cells. Then what are the characteristics of meristematic cells? Because they are always dividing, so there are some characteristics that is not present in other cells. So which are that characteristics? These cells are very active cells and they are living. So one of the point is they are living and very active cells. Second point, they have thin cellulosic wall, because they are going to divide, no, so that there is thin cellulosic wall is present. In between the cell there is no space, that is intercellular space is absent. Then they have a prominent nuclei and the cytoplasm is dense, that means thick cytoplasm is present, and they are continuously grow and divide. And another important feature is these cells lack vacuole. Even though it's a plant cell, these cells lack vacuole. Why? Because we studied that vacuoles have storage in the function, in their function, isn't it? Is their function. But here the cells are going to divide repeatedly. There is no storage function, so that these meristematic cells lack vacuole. And these meristematic cells divide first, and the characters are similar to that of the meristem, but as they grow and mature, they completely change their features, and finally it become a permanent tissue. On the basis of their position or location, these meristematic cells are classified into three. They are apical meristem, intercalary meristem, and lateral meristem. First one is apical meristem. These type of meristematic cells are present on the apex of a root and shoot, that is at the tip of the root and stem. And what is its function? It is responsible for increase in the length of stem and root. Second one is lateral meristem. This lateral meristem present on the lateral sides of stem and root, and its function is increase the girth of the stem and root. That is, this result to the formation of secondary growth and wood formation in stem and root. For example, cambium and cork cambium. So what is cambium? These are lateral meristems found inside the vascular bundles of dicot plants in the form of a ring. These are the lateral meristems. Then the third one is intercalary meristem. Intercalary meristems are present at the base of the internodes and leaves. What is the function of intercalary meristem? It helps in the growth of internodes and leaves, and it is also responsible for the formation of lateral branches and leaves. That's all for today's class. So just we can wind up the today's class. That is, first once we studied about the definition for tissue, then the differences between plant tissue and animal tissue, and the type of tissue such as meristematic and permanent tissue, the characteristics of meristematic cells, and we studied about the classification of meristematic cells such as, meristematic tissues such as apical meristem, intercalary meristem, and lateral meristem. That's all for today's class. Once again, Jai Hind and thank you.